Make them hot. Today on RB's Toy Box, we're going to take a look at my Ghostbusters Proton Pack and Spangler wand combo that I'm mostly done with. Stay tuned. Now, if you've been following along a little bit on RB's Toy Box, you'll see that I've made several how-to videos dealing with the different parts that I purchased for this particular build. Now, I've jumped ahead and I'm going to go back and do a couple of more as parts come in, but I've got this to a point where I'm ready to showcase it a little bit, so maybe you can get some ideas about how you want to customize your Ghostbusters Proton Pack. Now, to start with, this is built off of the chassis that is through Spirit Halloween, not a HasLab or anything. Those are obviously, I missed that boat as I mentioned early on in the videos, but this one is based off of that Spirit Halloween Proton Pack. Now, I mentioned right off the bat I was not going to keep this as, you know, screen accurate. I wanted to RB Toy Box it a little bit and add my own flair to it. And I'm going to kind of go over that overview here, but the first thing I want to show you is what I think is one of the more impressive features to this, and that is the integration of the Spangler wand. With the integration of the Spangler wand, you've got a couple of main things here that most people do, and of course that's the addition of the V-hook that goes along to the bottom of here, and then you can get different parts and pieces that wire the electronics from this into here. They're kind of expensive. I mean, if you went and you got all of the parts and pieces that would integrate the circuit boards into a circuit board inside of here as a unit, you know, couple $240, $250 to do that. What I did instead is a couple of different levels. Number one, I just simply took the speaker from here and I run a wire from there all the way down the tube into here. Then I used a line-in converter, because if you just run something like this directly into an amplifier, it'll blow it to smithereens. It'll be too hot for it. So if you use a line-in converter, which are cheap, I mean like 12 bucks for a line-in converter, you can run this into an amplifier so that you don't have to keep turning the volume up and down, up and down, up and down. You can balance it between your other input sources and your Spangler wand. So I'm going to put links to the different parts that I have purchased for my unit so that you can maybe save some time shopping. But it's a line-in converter, and then that went into a 200-watt sound system, basically a cool little amplifier that also is Bluetooth compatible. Now, I wanted that so that when I wasn't using the wand and I was walking around, I could play music out of the two speakers that are down mounted in the bottom here, right there. I don't know if you can see it with the black on black, but those two speakers right there. And then that, of course, runs back up into the amplifier, which is just kind of poking out here on the side right there. So with it being Bluetooth, again, I can listen to the radio, I can watch, listen to a YouTube video. I have a playlist that I've already created of different movie-related sounds and or soundtracks that I could just play as I'm walking around a Comic-Con or something. And to be honest, between the combination of the speakers, if you tie the wattages close enough, man, these things can get pretty loud. I mean, like, you know, annoying your next door neighbor kind of loud. But the really cool thing with that sound amplification is what you heard a little bit in the intro, is that when you amplify the Spangler wand into an amplified sound system, I guess those are the same things, you can hear so much more detail coming from the Spangler wand than you could out of that little speaker. Now, I'm not sure how well it'll pick up through my lapel mic here, but we're going to give it a shot. So I'm going to just start by firing this up. That's the first switch. Second one doesn't really have any sounds because it turns on the lights and stuff. Power up sequence. Turn the dial right there. Open that up. Now listen to the in-between when I switch it. The fluid sound as it's going through. The crackling sound that it makes. High energy power sound that it makes. And of course the power down sequence as well. Obviously it's loud and it comes through marvelously through the sound system. I know in YouTube that you won't be able to necessarily hear it all, but it does such a great job amplifying it. Now there's something else that I did with the Spangler wand that I felt was pretty unique, and also something I felt was very necessary. And that is inside of the Spangler wand right here where the battery pack goes, there's two little springs inside, and if you get any corrosion whatsoever as part of your Spangler wand, as mentioned in the previous videos, it is so difficult to repair that. So what I did to eliminate that problem is I got a hold of some dummy batteries. Again, link's going to be in the description down below. By the way, if you like what I'm doing here, hit the subscribe thing, share it with your friends, that kind of stuff. There you go. But with that, the batteries, I used the dummy batteries and then run the wire down through the tube again up into the unit. Now, the battery pack's up here on the top, and that's with a 12 volt. You'll be able to see that with some of the fly-through shots. It's a 12 volt battery, again, link in the description, but it's going through this little guy right here that you can dial down the watt or the voltage to whatever particular external device that you have. So the 12 volts powering the rest of the unit, but obviously you try to pump 12 volts into this, you're going to blow your Spangler wand. So by dialing it down to the 4.5, in this case 4.6 because of the amperage it pulls, it works beautifully. Now, to be cautious about it, I added an extra, actually 2 switches to it. I have the main power switch up the top. I have this switch right here, which is lit up by my little 25-cent LED light, which I think is cool. But this basically, so that if I go out to, you know, Comic-Con or whatever, and before I power this up, I have somebody make sure that that says 4.5 or 4.6 on it. If this gets messed with in any way or is not working properly after power up, I obviously don't want the power to go to here. If you didn't have that in there, even and you just run a direct wire, if there's something ever happens with that direct wire, it's going to fry your Spangler wand. We don't want that. So this allows me an extra step of safety before I blow up something that's going to be $150 to replace. So again, make sure that that is that you add an extra switch on top of that, just to make sure when that 12 volt comes on, you have a little bit of a safety before you get to the Spangler wand. Now I also have a secondary switch back here to where, you know, I usually don't go anywhere without my wife or daughter or my son or somebody to go with me. Just obviously for safety reasons for my own medical conditions. But if they see any problems whatsoever, that master switch right there, they can grab super quick. It's got the aircraft, you know, emergency shut-off type thing where they just smack it once and it shuts the whole power system down. So I wanted, again, double systems because, you know, you start getting into this stuff, it gets expensive. You know, if you've got the amplifier in here, that was, well, I don't want to say super expensive. I built this on the down low. I could have done it a little bit cheaper by not upgrading the lighting system inside of here with the little blue lights that go up and down. I could have done it with just what comes with the Spirit Pack. And to be honest, with what comes with the Spirit Pack, it's not much different than the upgraded circuit board. I'm going to be honest. I mean, the 2021 version of, and I think it's maybe even the 2022, it didn't, the 19 Spirit Halloween Proton Pack, this just kind of surged. On the 2021, I believe they changed it, maybe even 2022, it does go up and down and up and down, and this goes in its sequence. So to be honest, between the upgraded unit that was $90 for the enhanced lights for both of these, it really wasn't that big of a difference between what came stock and what the upgrade was. I mean, there's obviously some visual differences, but if you were like, where can I save $90 if you got the most recent version of the Halloween pack? That's where you can save it. If you look at what I'm looking at here and comparing to what this originally did, you will see it's like, hey man, those aren't that different. And I would happen to agree with that. If it wasn't for me goofing up with this, which is why I made such a big deal out of it, I did not put in the safety switch. And so RB's Toy Box accidentally fried the lighting system that was in here. That's why I had to do the upgrade, you know, short of getting another, you know, Halloween pack and just having two like that. I went ahead and decided I'll just go ahead and get the upgrades right here, be done with it, have the upgraded ones. Now it does have the extra circuit board slot, so you could expand it down the road. I might do that, but right now I'm not. So I also upgraded the clipper valve right here. Again, I'll do some vanity shots of that. I certainly didn't use the 701. That would have been oversized for this 75% sized pack. I also did the upgrade of this down here. There's a video for that with the extra stickers on here. I upgraded the loom like everybody else does on that. That's one of the first things that people do. And I even did a little extra over here where I am going to put some pink slime and some green slime in here so that they're illuminated from the back. I thought that would be a nice touch, me personally, putting the extra slime in there. Turning around to the back, I have the Alice frame. It's the smaller version of it. I will obviously have a link for that as well. The speakers down here in the back, which work perfectly because of the Alice frame, because this gives you a good 3 inches on your back for those speakers to fire and sound absolutely fantastic. Because of the thinness of the plastic and keeping this open right here, you can hear it in the front or back perfectly fine. It's literally a 360 surround on it, and it sounds, like I said, it sounds really, really good. I used the same straps that came with the upgraded deluxe version Proton Pack from Spirit Halloween. These are the same ones. Previous models, these were kind of cheesy from what I understand, but these were more of the military look to it. You know, it's a Halloween costume. You know, don't expect to strap this on and go running an 80-mile pack run or anything like you're in the Army. These certainly are not meant for that. But for an hour here or an hour there in a costume contest or a Comic-Con walking around, they're going to be perfectly fine for me for probably 2 or 3 years. For giggles, I might upgrade them, but I still have a few things left to do on this. I still have a metal piece coming for this. By the way, if you order from Etsy anything to do with these upgrades, read carefully. I did not realize when I started ordering off of Etsy, you can't search like you do on eBay for US only vendors. So, and it doesn't say anywhere on there until literally you order it that, oh, by the way, this is coming from England. It'll be 100 years before it gets here. So, I mean, I ordered that almost the first day that I got it, and I still haven't gotten it yet. Who knows when it's going to show up. Also want to get the rod that comes down on here. I just haven't gotten around to that yet. There's another knob. There's a lot of people doing 3D prints of that. They're not doing, I mean, it looks ugly. No offense to people that are doing that, but you need to sand them and clean them up a little bit. I mean, I don't want to put that on here with everything else looking smooth. Or, you know, I might even get a ham radio, you know, dial or knob or something just to put on there, something that actually looks authentic. The other thing I'm going to do is go through and add this piece right here. I've seen some guys just using washers right there. I thought that was pretty cool. And then the last thing, I think, other than just some little bitty tweaks here and there, I'm going to take my silver paint pen and go through and just where you see it on the Spangler, not in a large version like you see some folks that are doing the overlay spray paints and stuff, I'm just going to weather it a little bitty bit. I might do some upgrade stickers or something with having them look a little bit more weathered, but you know, I wanted it to be kind of a low maintenance scenario. I also put in an RGB controller so that I could run my other LED lights off of it. And I'll have a link for that in the description as well for the Amazon LED lights. Super cheap, very reliable, nice clean solders on those. And I think that would be helpful as well. So this is my kind of overview of where I am with the unit. I will not play, well, I guess I could play one song through it. Let me pause. I'm going to flip on the Bluetooth. YouTube kind of gets a little moody when you play songs that you don't actually have legal rights to, but there is a Ghostbusters song that I could play that is copyright free. Let me turn that on real quick. Hold on. All right, so hooked up on my Bluetooth phone here, and let's turn it on. So it gets pretty loud. I mean, that's from the back. If I spin this around, and granted it's coming through the lapel mic, so it's coming from this direction, so hold on a second. But I mean, let's face it, you're not going to crank it all the way up with it on your back. So, I mean, for it being half volume and easily being able to hear it 30 feet away, you know, what else do you need, right? I also built this with the mindset, I have a blue mall wheelchair. I call it my mall chair because it's a really small wheelchair. It's not like my Power Wheels, the great big one with the TV screens and stuff on it, but this would fit really nicely and just hang right on the back of my blue wheelchair for going to the mall and having some fun too. So, but I mean, it's like I said, you play it off your Bluetooth, or once you turn your Bluetooth off, it'll kick back over so it has the input on it, so you can just immediately flip back over then and use your Spangler wand. So it really works out well in that. So if you like what we're doing here at RB's Toy Box with some of the custom builds that we've got or have commissioned, I've got some few other things that I am working on. One of those right now is upgrading one of the Star Wars helmets with a sound system inside of it so that you could just sit there and watch TV with your Star Wars helmet on. I'll hopefully have that done in a few weeks. But check out RB's Toy Box, all of the other videos that we've done. If you're interested in any other of the items here that you don't see a how-to video on and you would like one, let me know. I will make a how-to video as much as I can with it assembled. And then some of it I can pull apart, and you'll see the different wiring boards and stuff that I've done, but definitely you want to check out some of those other videos if you're looking to upgrade your Spirit Halloween Proton Pack and be able to put something together similar to this, or at least to your own liking, and know how to put some of those things together. Be sure to check those videos out. We'll see you next time here on RB's Toy Box.